Okay, so this is what we're doing. We're aiming for a clipping mask look. I just wanted to pull that one up. It's so strong and relevant to what's going on today. But again, it's really a painting sort of approach to a clipping mask, and we're going to be doing a digital example. You know, like the things that are um, part of the project that we're doing. Okay, well, let's take a look at that real quick before we get into it. So modules. Project 1. Uber campaign. I'm going to look at this again. It's just such it's a hoot. Look at the typography and look at the repetition of shape to create a sense of unity. This is using the elements and principles of design. Art directors and artists do it all the time. So it's a weird place to stop it in terms of the typography. But you've got the sans serif typeface, upper and lower case, very contemporary looking, dropped out white, stretched out a little bit. Okay. Now here's our project. I just want to get to the clipping mask look. Bam, 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 bam. This, for example, this bird inside this mask, and whatever the stuff is inside these shapes. That's a clipping mask. And then also today we're going to be aiming for a duotone, a tritone. This looks like it's just black and white, but we're going to go with something a little bit fancier than that. Okay, that's what we're doing. Also, back to this homepage. We're going to do a quick exercise, but just so that you're so that you're used to doing what we're going to be doing. But there are 3 YouTubes it's totally step by step, slowly, written out and step by step, so that you can refer to these also. So we're going to give it a shot today, just so you can get used to what we're doing. And the first is a clipping mask. All of these technical digital things are, they're tricky and they're hard, and if you don't do them right, you can get stuck. So. This video on? Huh. Okay. All right, we're going to take it from the top here. If you go, this is OneDrive. So if you go into your OneDrive, with Aaron, you'll see this folder that I put in today, September 15th class demo assignment. I'm going to have you do it. The assignment's not up there yet, but once we get finished, then take a screenshot and you'll put it into the assignment page, which is not up there yet, but it will be up there. Okay, so this is what I recommend. I'm not sure if Aaron's with us. Go like that. Download this image. You're downloading 2 images. Download that image onto your desktop. Okay? I'll give you a minute or 2 to do that. And if any of you don't have that folder in your file, tell me, because I whip them all into all of them. And sometimes I just go too fast. And it jumps over a person. Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to update here the attendance. And you're also going to have to open up Photoshop. First thing we're going to do is a clipping mask. Okay. Where are we here? Okay, here we have it. I'm going to try to jot these things down as we go. It might be useful. Open in Photoshop. Okay. Sometimes if you just click on something, double click on it, it'll open in preview unless you change the default somehow. But so I would recommend right clicking and opening with Photoshop. Make sure it's open in Photoshop. Okay, so here we've got a person. And then open the other one. Photoshop. Okay. If you get a couple steps behind, just say, hey, could you hold on a minute? Professor Dodge, raise your hand. Just, I don't mind going back over anything or slowing down or whatever you think, okay? So, now, I've opened up the sky, and I opened up the other guy. I'm going to go to Window, Arrange, 2 up vertical. I can see them both. So this is what you're going to need, layers, and I don't know about options. Use your tools. Okay. Now in layers, I've got the sky on the left and the guy on the right. I don't know if it matters, but probably not. I'm going to take the lock off the background. See, this is lit up here, so you know that this is the file that you're working on, as opposed to this is a little bit grayed out. This is alive. This is not alive. Okay, if I do anything, it's going to be on this file because this is the active file right now. Okay, next thing, check the size. Because if this is 72 dpi and like 10 inches across, it's not going to work. If this is 300 dpi and 1 inch across, they need to be comparable. They need to be in sync. So, all right, so I'm still on this landscape. I'm going to go to image size. 300 dpi, kind of small. Let's make it a little bit bigger. So you're used to working with these dialog boxes. So 5 inches across and 5 by 3. Say okay. Don't mess with this thing. This is a proportional lock. If you take it off, it can be an issue. Also, resample should be on. That means that you're adding pixels to this image, right? You know that. See, used to be 500K, and now it's up to 4 megabytes because we're adding pixels. If we'd taken this off, it would just be rearranging the pixels and not adding to it. It would just change the size. Okay. All right, I'm going to say okay. Makes it bigger. I'm going to go Command minus on my keyboard to make it smaller. And rulers are up, right? You should have your rulers up here. Alive. Okay. And then this one, same thing. It's also a horizontal image, which is good. They'll fit into each other nicely. So click on this, make this active. Oh, I don't know how I got in the type tool to throw that out. Okay. I'm in this image right now, in this document. Take off the lock. Go to image size. 300. Make it 5 inches wide. Say okay. Okay, big. Now Command minus to make it smaller, to make it look smaller, right? It's not actually making it smaller in terms of memory or pixel size. Okay, now, I've got them both up. Here's my cursor, right? I'm going to hold down the mouse right here and drag this over here. Didn't work. Try it again. Okay, yeah. Okay, now I'm done with this one. I don't need it anymore because they're both on this one. So don't save. Now here we have that. Here are layers. Now we have 2 different layers, right? Here's the eyeball. Makes it visible. Doesn't get rid of it, just makes it visible or not, like opening your eye, shutting your eye. Okay. All right. Anybody need a moment? I think it's a way to raise your hand, or maybe that's in some Zoom or something instead of this. Where's the chat box? The computer's running so. Oh, hi, Taryn. Are you in yet? Okay. Anybody need to say wait? You can, however you do it, enter chat message. It's like just like on Amazon. Hey, wait up. Okay. Don't be afraid to do that, and I will slow down. Okay. Better put it up there. All right. Okay, so next is this clipping mask look. And then we're going to do a few other things. Okay. All right. So on the words, not on this thing, right click and say create clipping. Wait a minute. What am I doing here? Yeah, let's go on this layer. Deselect that. We have to get rid of the background of this guy. Okay, so I'm going to go to select and mask. Right? This look is kind of interesting. I'm going to take a look at the size. It's really small. Make it bigger. And I don't know. Properties here are good to look at it sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to select what I want to save. So that's a decent job, I think. You don't have to go back and fine tune it too much. All right, just trying to get that edge. Okay, and then say, okay, there. There's a clipping mask on that. I mean, we have we masked this guy out. Okay, put that back up there. Oh, one more thing. Sorry. Put the little hand right here. Right click it. No, put the hand right here and right click it and say apply layer mask. We need to have this just be a regular image layer. Nothing too tricky attached to it. Let's see. Okay, so don't forget, most of these steps are, you don't do them right, it's going to be tricky. I apologize for going back and forth sometimes. Okay, so then right click on it, not on the image, on the words, and say create clipping mask. And then it goes inside of it. It's not going to work if it has a background. You won't be able to see it. So you have to get rid of this whole background to be able to see the outline of the guy. You can move it around. See, I'm in the Move tool. Still in Photoshop, just to remind you of where we are. And it fits in there pretty nicely. It's the same size, same DPI. So it's clipped in there. Okay. Now, I would like to soften this edge a little bit. So, a couple of things. We need to do in black and white, this mode here. And we have to do it on a layer mask. So it's this one right here. Add layer mask. And then we're going to use the gradation tool, which is right here. Click on that. And then up here is the spot where you go to for the gradation tool specs. You click on it, and this is what we need. This look, which is I don't know why it says custom. This should be foreground to transparent. That's what we're looking for. And actually, that's what this is. This is, oh, wait a minute. I don't know why this is white all of a sudden. That's bad. Hold on. Okay. Couple things to double check. Make sure it's black and white. Make sure black is on the top. Make sure once you've gotten into this gradation tool that it is foreground to transparent and that it's black right here. I don't know why, it's just the way the software is written. And get onto your layer mask and then cross your fingers and hope it works. I think it'll work. And you go, yeah. You go like this. Hold down your mouse, right? I'm in the gradation tool, but I'm holding down the mouse. You go like that. And it knocks it back, kind of, gradually. So you get the idea that this guy's thinking about, I don't know, thinking about composition. Okay. All right, that's that. That's that so far. So see, this is the mask that has taken away these pixels of this layer. We could, if you decide you don't like it, you can right click on it and delete it or disable it. Disabling it will bring it back to one of the, before we started hacking at it with a gradation tool. You could delete it altogether. You could apply it, which is what we're going to do. Because I think it's okay. I'm going to apply it. Sounds good. Okay? So these are the steps you're going to have to take. Apply layer mask. Good. So now it's on there. Still a clipping mask. So.
Hi, Susan. This is Robert.
Hi, Robert.
Was having a little bit of technical issues. Where can I find the clipping tool?
Okay. I kind of feel like, I'm not sure if I should go all the way back, but you would right click. Let me, well, right click here and, it was on the words, but see, since I've already clipped it, it's not going to show up again.
So just click on the layer and it should right click and it should say clipping.
Do you see clipping mask?
Let me see here.
I can just go back. Let me go back and do it one more time. I'm going to release my clipping mask. All right. Whoops. Shouldn't have done that. All right. I'm going to go back in history here. Go back a bunch of steps. Okay, I think this is where I want to be. Okay. So here's the guy, and with the background taken out. Here's the landscape. Okay, so we're going to clip them together. So put your hand, your cursor.
Okay. So how did you cut the background out of the guy? I think maybe I said the wrong thing. Did you use the direct select tool, or what did you?
Here, I'll show you. I'll go back a minute. No big deal at all. Where's my history? Hold on. Okay. All right. So this is the two different images stacked on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm just going to deselect this so we can see it. So here's all the background. And you go up to select. And then you go to select and mask. And then you get this weird interface altogether. It's just like a different tool within the tool.
Okay.
There's brushes. And my brush to begin with was tiny. It was only 3, which would be, too small. Make it a little bit bigger. And then here are all the properties. I mean, if yours doesn't look like this, you could mess around with, some of these. You have to take some time and fool around with the tool to get
Okay.
used to it. It's a good tool to know how to use. Does yours look like this?
Yeah, actually, it does.
Oh, good. Good. Okay. So you hold down the mouse, and what you're doing is selecting pixels that you're going to keep. And it creates a mask, like the title says, select a mask. So we're selecting and masking.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm saving this. And then underneath all this stuff, the properties. Once you like it, you say OK. And then it goes back to the regular Photoshop interface. And see, now you have a mask on it. A layer mask, what it's called. Right here. Okay. So then I'm going to right click on that and say apply it. Because once you have like a mask hooked up, and plus you want to try a clipping mask and do other stuff like we're going to do, you've got to get rid of this layer mask because it'll just hang everything up. I don't even know. I can't even think of an analogy except for the fact we just have to get rid of it. I mean, not get rid of it, but apply it so that we have one regular layer here. I'm going to apply it. See, so here's a regular layer, and here's my landscape. Okay, so now we're going to do the clipping mask. Robert, you with me?
So how do you apply it though? You right click on it, on that layer?
Yeah, you right click on I think it was on the words. Let me see if I can back up. Yeah, you right click on this little icon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then say apply.
Oh, okay. Now I'm with you.
Yeah. I know there's different tiny little places to right click, and they all mean different things. I know.
Right.
I'm like, and I think I know what I'm doing. And I'm like, no, I have to do it wrong 3 times before I get it right. Yeah, every time. So anyway, okay. So now we have both of these opened up.
Okay.
And then you right click. What you have to have the thing that you're going to clip in the thing that you're going to clip into the image. It has to be on top.
Okay.
So this is important. This sequence, and then you right click on the words layer 1, and you say, as opposed to right clicking on the image here, which is something else altogether. So you right click on the words, and you say create clipping mask, and then it jumps into it. Did that work?
Oh my gosh. Yes, it did.
Yeah, I know. It's it's like, oh, I know. Oh, it worked. Good. I know. I cross my fingers every time. Like, oh, well, I did something wrong with it. I don't know. Okay. And then you can move it around. You get in your move tool, and you can just decide, what you're going to do. I want to see this guy's face, so I'm going to knock back this hard edge right here. Okay. Now, so then we're going to go to the gradation tool. And this is a tricky tool. It's just all these tools are tricky. That's just all there is to it. Let me think about it. Okay, we need to put a layer mask on this one. So we go down here because you have to do a gradation on a layer mask. Well, you could do it right on it, but it just wouldn't work. This situation. Okay, add a layer mask. Do that right? Add a layer mask. Okay. And then, taking it from the bottom up, make sure you're on black and white. You can click on this thing, which is a default if you've got colors here. Click on that and then hit this little arrow thingy to make sure black is on top.
Oh,
Why
okay.
these things are important, I don't know. I mean, I just, just the way it is. Okay, it's the way the tool works. Then here's the gradation tool, like halfway down. You click on that. And then up here, this is, if we do need the options bar, for sure. So up here is the gradation tool, specifications box. So you click on that. And what you're looking for is this look, which is foreground to transparent. Because we're going to keep the foreground, keep part of the foreground, but have it have the gradation go into transparency. Is what I'm trying to say, I guess. As opposed to you could have it go from red to green or whatever, black to red. But we want the foreground to fade away into transparency. That's what we're doing. So, and that's this here, right here. So supposedly, if I keep this hand on here long enough, like about 10 minutes, it'll finally say foreground to transparent. So
How did you
anyway,
get the box to open that says gradient add?
this one, oh, do you have the options bar up?
Yes, I do. Uh-huh.
Okay, so you click right here.
Okay.
You click on this little arrow,
Mm-hmm.
and then you under basics. Then I'm looking for this. You have that?
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Foreground to transparent.
Okay, right in the middle there. Okay.
Yeah. Good. Okay, so you've chosen that,
Mm-hmm.
and then you click off of it. Good, and then we're good. And then I think we're ready to roll. So you're in the gradation tool, sure, for sure. Now, you hold down the mouse. I'm just going to hold it down up here and drag it down to about there, and it starts taking pixels away. Is that working?
Yes, it is.
There, that's how you do it. So I'm gonna.
That is so neat.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's cool. All right, so then I'm gonna knock that down to about there. I don't know, something like that. Okay. Now, so we've got like a decent image, and then we're going to apply it up here on the layer mask. Say apply layer mask, and good. So now we've got that. Now what are we going to do? Now we're going to turn it into a tritone. Aiming for this look that we're going for with the cards. So let me see if I can Google real quick an example. Sort of like the faces that I'm showing you, on the project sheet. Hold on. That's not very helpful. All right, never mind. Instead of full color, we're going to be using like 3 separate colors to make something that looks sort of black and white, but it's really a fancier black and white. It's like a little warmer, a little cooler, a little prettier, and that's what it is. Or actually, the word in general is duotone, but duo means 2, and you can do 2 or 3 or 4. 4 colors is a quadratone, 3 is a tritone, and a duotone is 2. Okay. So what we have to do this, number 1, I forgot all about my notes. I didn't get very far with that. Okay. Once you've done all this, once you've masked, this is important. Flatten your image to make the tritone, or the quadratone. We'll say quadratone. It's just too long of a word, and people just say duotone, meaning any of those 4 options or 3 options. Monotone is one color. Okay. You have to flatten your image. Very important. You know, it's silly to say very important all the time, but because everything is important. You can get hung up on any of these steps and not get any further. Okay. So we're going to flatten the image. We go to layer. Well, you know what? Save it. Wait a minute. We can say save it. Very important. I should just say very important and put in after everything. Very important. Okay. Save as. Meaning that, save your Photoshop doc in case something goes wrong. And then we're going to flatten the image and call it something else. So save. This is a nice Photoshop doc that you should put, like in progress in your folder. In progress demo. We've worked on it for half an hour. Okay, with the layers, definitely. Okay, save. All right. And then save as, because once we flatten it, you won't have these layers. Well, you won't have the layers. Okay. So to know that you've flattened it, what I do first is put the word flat in there, just to make sure that you're flattening the right one. Good. No, I haven't done much except for change the name and called it flat. Now I'm going to flatten it. You go to layer, flatten image. Keep an eye on your layers here. See, you've got 2 layers. Here's the history. We could go back anywhere and start from scratch, and you'd be fine. You've got everything there to do that. But once you flatten it, you won't. It's like another ball game altogether. So layer, flatten image. So see, background, boom. Okay. Now what is
Hey, Susan.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Wei.
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Good. You stuck?
So for some reason my meeting, like the screen froze, so I didn't see what you did for the quad tone.
Oh, we didn't even
Like,
get that far yet.
oh, because you said quad tone, I'm just like, okay, well, meeting stop freezing, so you have to,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, that's where we're getting.
Okay, so the only thing I did was to flatten the image and nothing else before
Yeah,
that, right?
I saved as and called it flat.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay. I'm going to take this background off. And, okay. At this point, I mean, you might want to think about taking out the background. Whoops. But, in Illustrator, we're going to do that again anyway, so. Nah, so we're not going to do that. Okay. Okay, so here we have it. Now, what did I say? How far have I gotten? Save it first. Very important. Save as. The word, whoops. So in the title, it's just a little working habit. Put the word flat in the title, then flatten it. Okay, so now you have 2 docs. Okay. Now, then, image mode, and then we're going to change it. You go to image and then mode, and then change it from RGB to grayscale. And it's going to say, do you want to get rid of this color information? You say yes. Okay. Okay. Then, okay. And then image mode duotone. See, this is one word, but it means all of those different things basically. So we're going to go from monotone to quadratone. Then, mm, then you choose your colors. You choose your colors. Number one, black. I don't really, yeah, nah. Let me just say to begin with, once you get going, you have to call your colors something, or it won't work. They need titles. So I'm going to double click on this and choose like a dark bluish color for my first color. And so see, jumps in there. And then you click on this white and say, all right, what do you want to make? What do I want to, a little color theory wouldn't hurt. If I choose an orange, you're going to have kind of a mix. Not bad, right? Kind of nice. I mean, we're aiming sort of for that black and white look, but really more of a quadrotone. Okay. All right, that's good for my second one. I'm gonna. Well, here's a working tip here. Professionally speaking, you should put in this designation. 2% blue, 47% magenta, yellow is 27 and 0. So if you have to go back and get that color exactly, you could use that. You could also use this. I like to think in terms of CMYK because it's just, I'm a print designer. So 247, 27, 0.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, don't apologize.
My computer just had a freeze up, and I missed how to get to the duotone options. Like it just started back up.
Okay.
Sorry.
Duotone. Oh, don't apologize at all. You go to image and then mode.
Okay.
And then you change it from RGB to grayscale.
Okay.
And then it'll say, do you want to throw away the color? And you say yes.
Okay.
Okay. Got that?
Yes.
And I'm just going to pick out some colors here. Okay. And once you're happy with your colors, you should pick 4. This is a good spot to take a screenshot, if you could. And we'll upload this to our assignment page so that I know that you've done at least that you've done this much. Okay, and I'm going to have to put that in there or I'll forget. Okay. Okay. It's kind of dark. But I'm going to say okay anyway. I'll show you something else. You can go up to image. No, you can't. Okay. Hold on. At this point, you have to go to mode and go back to RGB. Otherwise, it'll be stuck on this duotone kind of designation, and it doesn't want to do anything else. I couldn't even put an adjustment on it. So, okay, go back to RGB, very important. This is an important step again, that if you miss it, you're just going to get hung up, and you won't get very far. Okay, and you won't get much further than that. So image mode, why can't I adjust that? Okay, image, maybe because I just didn't have the layer selected. So select the layer, image adjustment. I'm just trying to lighten it up. Brightness and contrast. I'm going to brighten it up. It's already pretty high contrast. Okay, that's that. That's the clipping mask. That's the quadratone. I'm going to save as. Demo done. Pretty much done. Then I'll show you how to open it in Illustrator. Okay. Because our file is an Illustrator file. Our assignment, I mean. Okay. So then, where are we here? Done. Go to Done. Right click. Open with Illustrator. Now we're going to vectorize it. Convert layers to objects. Make text editable where possible. Say OK. Very good. Here we have it. I'm going to pull up the rulers and then go Command plus to make it a little bit bigger. Now, 2 things here. What are we going to do? In Photoshop, I could have posterized it. In my demonstration, I did that. But I think what we're going to do here, I'm going to just vectorize it. Okay, so I'm going to select it. Make sure remember, we've used these tools before. I'm going to select it in the direct selection, or in the selection tool. And then, I'm missing some tools. All right. I'm going to go back up to Essentials and go to Essentials Classic. All right, are you going to show up? Okay. That'll make those tools show up. Okay, so this is selected. All right, go up to Image Trace. Don't click on that. Click on this tiny little arrow thingy. Click on that, and then go to High Fidelity Photo. And then it's going to take all of these shapes and turn them into vector shapes. If this is a really small image, like 72 dpi or something, it would do it like in 1 second. Okay, that took a little bit of time, which is good. Okay, then very important, hit expand. And these are all the vector shapes. Now, see? Now these are all vector, they're not pixels. They're like shapes, they're like little islands.
Hi, Susan. This is Robert. How
Robert.
were you able to? Hi. And I have it open in Illustrator, and I selected the image, but the little toolbar there going across the top. How did you open that up?
Is your image? Here, I'm going to go back. Just a sec. Illustrator is good because you can go back just an infinite numbers of undos. I'm just hitting Command Z, which is undo. Okay. So you opened it in Illustrator, right?
Right.
Okay. You have this toolbox?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And your options you have?
No, I don't have the option.
Yeah, that's where I got stuck. So do you see here, up here, this is the mode, or like, I don't know what, the interface. And if you click on that, you can go to Essentials Classic should have it. Which interface are you on?
I was just on the Essentials.
Okay, go to Essentials Classic.
Okay. There it is. Okay.
Okay, so hit that.
The image trace.
Yeah, then select that, and then make sure you are hitting this, and then go to High Fidelity Photo.
Okay. There we go. That's what was wrong. I was using the Essentials, not the Essentials Classic. Okay.
I know, it's tricky. This is like the vectorizing component. Image trace. High fidelity. And then expand. You have to expand or it's just not going to work. Hit this word expand. And then you have all of these shapes. Okay, so now this is what I'm coming to here. In the selection tool, this one, it'll select everything. It's like that's its job is to select everything. So in this direct selection tool, what I'm going to do is select all this white and get rid of it. And then this white behind him and get rid of it. Because when you start, planning your design, you might not want this big chunk of white here. We just want the silhouetted image. So I'm going to select that and hit delete. That's all I did. I mean, it looks the same, but what it actually did was get rid of a big white chunk, bunch of white area. Okay, we'll do the same thing there. Now, when you say select, when you click on this, or say select all, Command A, you just have this guy. You don't have a white background, which is, you can get stuck and just say, I can't, I'm trying to put shape behind him, I can't see it. What's going on? It's because he's got like this white thing stuck to him. So that's that. That's that for our assignment for today. So get to this point. I guess I'll have you upload, 3 different shots. Take a screenshot at this point, or maybe just 2. And then upload those 2. Okay. Upload those 2, and then you should be somewhere along the line of, having your creative thinking, well along the way, that you know what you're going to do. What's the word? Hypothetically, you know what you're going to do. Now, in terms of actually knowing what you're going to do, this is giving you some software skills so that you can do it. Okay? Let me see. What else? Oh, you know what? Let's go over a few other things because I'm not going to talk to you again until. Oh, no. We've got a while. I was thinking that our crit was next week, but it's not. I would like to go over. Hang on. How you're going to do the critique. I'm going to put an Acrobat file in here, and you're going to upload your work into the Acrobat file. But I'll show you how to do that next week. And also do a demo. Okay? So that's pretty much it for today. Here we have our Photoshop file. And then here's our illustration. It looks a little bit different. The thing about it, about an Illustrator document, a vectorized document, is that we could take this and make it totally enormous. I mean, freaking huge. You could wrap the university with it. It's how they do the bus graphics and stuff. Great big images. You cannot do that with Photoshop because after a while you'll start seeing the pixels. It's a pixelated image. So we're learning some techie stuff here. Okay, that's that. Anybody have any questions? Okay, I'll put this assignment up. 10 points. I'll do it right now.
One question though, and it's actually with regard to the research.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to upload the research and the thumbnail in our OneDrive folders, but then what do we do with the Miro?
I'm sorry, what was your question though?
What do we do because I got a link and I accepted the invitation for, I think it's on Miro?
Oh, yeah.
So do we have to upload it there, or what do we do with that?
You know what? There's some people are familiar with Miro because they're taking illustration, and Jameson has been doing it with Miro since the beginning of the semester. So for some people, it's not hard, and for some people, it's tricky, and it's just something else, something to learn. So you don't have to put it there. What I'm going to do is look in your folder and see. I mean, I said that you should just pop it into your folder, and then I'll put it up. Probably all of these people, Karen, are you taking illustration?
Yeah.
Yeah, Karen, Wei. So this is not, there wasn't much of a learning curve here, but this is what we're aiming for. Next project, you'll put your thumbnails up here yourself.
Okay.
For now, though, yeah, just put them in your research folder, and then I'll download them and pop them up there, and then we'll talk about how exactly. But probably at this point, it'd be good for you to follow the link and see if you can get to this spot. So hopefully, you get to something that looks like this, and then you go over here, R307, and then you click on here. A lot of clicking, of course. Click here, click there, and there we are. And then here's the deal with this is that, wait a minute, let me see if I can find an image. Here's a screenshot. You can, whoops, sorry. You can drag anything onto it. It's very drop and draggy. It's made for collaborative work, which is a big deal now with this virus situation going on. Everybody's home. Everybody needs to work. Everybody has their dog and their kid in the background. That's not true, but anyway, it's supposedly very user friendly. Although it did take me a while to figure it out. But you can drop and drag, and then over here, your tools for adding comments, and then there's a bunch of other tools too. Take a look at it and see if you can become semi-familiar with it, and we'll probably have a little assignment related to this later on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sure. It's cool looking, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I really like it.
I know. I think it's really neat. Yeah, the resolution is kind of amazing. You can just, zoom right in on these beautiful drawings. Okay. All right. So that's that. I think that's that. Anybody else have any questions? Wait, are you good?
Just one question. So,
Yeah.
it's about Illustrator. I got to the part where tracing result with outlines, high fidelity.
Yep.
How did you the background?
Oh, how to get rid? Yeah, I'll show you again. Okay. Is this my? Yeah. Oh no, I'm in Illustrator. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna go back a few steps. Wait, how's the class pet?
Class pet is sleeping. And fat.
Fat. Okay, so here we are at this point. Okay, I'm going to select this thing with the selection tool, and then I went back further than I wanted to. You hit expand. You have to hit expand, and then you change tools because the selection tool will just select everything, which we don't want. You go to the direct selection tool, which will just select components. Like, see, I can take his eyebrow out. Boom, gone. At least a piece of it. It's very high fidelity, as it says. Okay, the object here is to get rid of this white. And so I'm going to click on it. Another thing is that I could drag a cursor and also click on it, grab a bunch and just hit delete. Hit the word delete on your keyboard. Now, you know what? A good way here. I'm going to go back one more time. This is a good example of what we're doing here. Hold on. New layer. I'm going to fill this layer with color. Paint bucket tool on this thing. All right, anyway. Stuck. Why is it locked? Hold on. Stuck. So, why is this locked? Okay. All right, here's the guy. There's a blue background, but you can't see the blue background because of this white right there. So, get in the direct selection tool and click on that. Another way is to drag a cursor like that. Look at that, it takes a tiny little piece of his nose too. I don't want that. Okay, and then you hit delete and it gets rid of it. There you go. Still has this line of white. Okay, that's just smaller. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what we just did. With all the white.
I got it now.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to, even though I'm explaining it, you might not get it because it's just everything is white. So that if you've got a white background, at some point it could hang you up and you might not understand what's going on because it's white. Anyway, so that's that. That's the scoop. And then
All right, thank
I'll
you.
open up this assignment. Oh, you're welcome. Entirely welcome. All right, send me an email, if anybody's stuck. Okay, and let me take a look at. Good. I'm so happy everybody's. You know what? Everybody's here. Nice. It's like normal, like a nice class. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anybody else have any questions? Paige, you good? Here, I'm going to put your chat on private chat. No, I'm just teasing. Okay. All right. I'll let you go. Stay on top of your work. All righty. Thank you.